Another day. Breakfast. What are you having? Honeycomb. What a good idea. Don't look around the table. We'll get one. God damn. Get your things all straight. Somebody's gonna comb that. Honeycomb. I always think of boats and fishing or not big boats and fishing, more like lake fishing, Maybe it was Honeycomb Beach. Surprise! There's jelly in this donut. I was like, darn. And they're only $1.25. Now, remember when you're shopping, because I did this to Mitch McConnell. I said, Mitch, I'm talking to Mitch and I'm saying, you got to learn how homeless people and poverty people are, so you have to work differently. And I said, we're going to have lunch, and while we're having lunch, we're going to understand how this works. So I put all these things together, how we have lunch, and everybody's on a budget. Well, the budget, of course, is a big deal. And this here costs $1.25, as I said, and this has jelly in it, which is probably extra, which is not, but anyways. So it's $1.25, but if you don't read the small print, this is $1.49. The big print is $1.25, but that's for your second one, not your first one. I wonder how many people really get that wrong, and how many people understand what I'm saying. You're on a budget. You will be giving each one of them at least head of household. You know what I mean? I didn't understand that at first. Head of household has more than everybody else. No, head of household is a tax deal. Wow. Because whoever is head of household can deduct more taxes or pay less taxes. But it doesn't mean it might be the rich people. Wow, that's pretty good. Oh, there's no cream in it. But it is really good. There's a lot in there. Mm. These NFTs are a big deal. Now, I was thinking about doing an NFT, which is a non-fungible token. Now, I've just heard that some tokens are not non-fungible. They're called semi-fungible tokens. Because a non-fungible token is always there. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? There's like 3 or 4 guys scurrying around their kitchen. Holy shit! Not a semi-fungible token. That would be stupid. So really, really big deal when you know the difference between, second use, judicial, and you know what I'm saying? They both want to know for sure because it makes a difference. Anyways, I was just reading a little bit about that, and I said, you know what? So that means whatever I have, I could lose. And I was working on Putin's problem. President Putin has this big problem. Of course, it's called. I don't want to put a name on it. It's called the Chinese. Chinese, you know. And the problem with that is they want to pay him, but he does not want to. He does not want to have. He does not want to have their money. For him, their money is useless. I mean, you can't go downtown Moscow. You might be able to go to the bank and exchange it, but you can't go downtown Moscow and buy with Chinese yen. I think yen. Oh, ooh. And yen is like, you know what I'm saying? It's a money, and it's never. This is how I understand this. It's never in my past lifetime been a world currency. You know, it's a Chinese currency, which has enough people to be a world, but they're not. Right? Hmm. That's one of my favorite guys. But anyways, if he's on here, he can have as many messages as he wants. 3. Because 1 was maximum, right? Whether or not the Chinese yen is a big deal, but so Russia doesn't want that because they want to get paid for what they give them, and they want to be paid in their currency. And the problem was one their currency had some yeah. Anyways, some ups and downs. Actually, I think that was called rock and flop, rock and flop. And I didn't buy none. Wish I would have. But having the paper currency is, different than what's happening. And the thing about it is you can't just scurry together in Russia and round up enough ruble to let the Chinese pay the Russians. Meaning it's kind of scarce. Now stop. They're already on a 2-year high, so just everybody be trying to buy rubles, which might go up considerably. So I was working on trying to get that bill paid. And then the country of Finland, has decided that they're going to give um, Ukraine some money. It's like, wow, there's a lot of money. When countries give countries stuff, it's a big deal. And I haven't understood this yet, but do countries pay bills? Obviously not. Sit down, relax. The banks pay the bills, not the countries, right? So is the bank the country, or the country's in control? So the budget's in control. Excuse me. So are we going to say the country? I mean, because literally telling you you're a country, I will loan you $1 trillion, of course, from my loanable money, which I have to loan. And as long as you make your payments, you can keep the money and make your payments. But what, if you're a bank, I'm not going to loan you $1 trillion because you're not worth it. And if you do not pay your interest payment, if you do not pay it, what am I going to get back? Some broken glass and a couple of bricks. And that's it? Or worse yet, an NFT broke. $1.92. Which that price is going up. It's going to be $5 tomorrow. Anyways, I think that problem can be solved. And the first thing I have to do is I have to warn the Russian president is that when you're working with two countries, things work differently because you have money coming both ways. And then it seems to, just pop out the top. So it's a really dangerous problem. But supposedly, the value that they're getting should boost their economy. And if I'm right, it should just boost the wage or what each individual person in that country and surrounding that body of people that connect together with one leader. As you know, America has one leader also, but they have 50 bodies. They had 48, and then there's a chunk that Russia sold us for, was that 2.1? Damn, can you believe that? 2.1. I remember. No, let's see. I'm trying to think. How big is an acre? About the size of this parking lot, I think. No. This is like 4. No. This is like 1, 4, 5. This is like 10 acres. 10 acres. But 2.1 was a good deal. And so that became one of there was 48 original, American things. And so the next thing was there was an island out in the Pacific. And that then came over here. So you have those two pieces that go under this one body of leadership. But under that one leader there's 50 individual, what we call governors. And when they pay attention, they will understand that they have a lot to say. And I'm sure that means, yep, you can stand outside, but you're not coming in because the rest of the guys that represent your state are meeting. I know, I don't even know what to say besides knock once maybe, but do not knock twice because things get busy. The other guys will be on the other side going, yeah. Who is 48? Because Alaska's going to knock loud. Anyways, that all goes together. Anyways, 2.1, I guess, is what that was. That was a long time ago. I can't even remember. The numbers are just, you probably know what the total numbers are. Anyways. And they bought it by the acre, Or they sold it to us by the acre, and it was mostly because it did not attach to their country, so maybe it wasn't even theirs. But I'm not trying to start anything besides... Oh yeah, and be careful. I forgot about that. No, they got that... There's an airstrip up there, supposedly. Yeah, I know. is underwater. So the airships, so they land on it, and it's actually, uh, yeah, that's a secret. I wanted to say that. Yeah, so it's an airport, and it's an airport out in the middle of the water, and you can't see the runway, but when they land, you can see that they don't sink. A lot of trust in that, isn't there? And that was the thing about up there, you know. Actually, I was thinking there's a project up there in Alaska, pipeline project, 60 billion, 120 billion. I can't remember how much it was. It was a lot though. No, no, not the Alaskan pipeline, but a different one. The Alaskan pipeline is what I'm going to say is pretty big. Anyways, so that was one of the things in the money markets that it made sense is the Russians needed money to give the Chinese so they could pay them back. Anyways, a money deal. I don't know how they solved it though. No, unless you're talking about a loan, but that loan would have been in U.S. currency, digital currency. I'm pretty sure it's digital currency, or that's going to be more expensive. Wow. And then there was that story about a truckload of coins. Do you remember that? Or did I make that up? I made that up. Now I remember. Um, Bezos. Bezos. So Notre Dame burnt down. Some idiot contractor obviously burnt the freaking roof off the freaking church. I have no idea, but you have to understand. You're talking about 1,200-year-old. 1,200-year-old. It's actually oak, but so they're remodeling it, and then it burnt down. So they have to put a new one on there. And truthfully, who the hell lets these freaking flies go? Did you see somebody, or was it that? No, because these flies here, they run into you, and then they run into you. They like 5 or 6 times they run into you. They like so they're yeah. Somebody makes them. Just one of the freaking people around here. Whether or not, okay, going back to Notre Dame. Notre Dame burned down is a big deal. So I was like, call up Francis. It's like, what about the steeple? Where are the steeples? And he does two steeples usually. And they're usually pretty high. Anyways, so this truckload of money, which if you're, the one I'm thinking about is the 1999 Da Vinci from the Euro. The Euro never came out in 1999, and it never came out. I think it came out late 2000. So they printed it in 99, though, right? So obviously there's a truckload of money somewhere. Anyways, in order for the church to be done, the roof was broke on. That's about how much they need. So I was thinking that Bezos, since he's the world's richest man at that time, would dump a truckload of money there. Now, the guy in charge of the church, so-called father, what do you think he would do? I mean, you can't steal it. It's freaking, 50 ton. No, it's not 50 ton. It'd be 8 ton, I think. Actually, 10 ton. I don't even know how much money that would be. Somebody could do the calculations on it, though, for 10 ton of how many coins is that. Those are about the size of, they're bigger than a quarter, a little thicker than a quarter, I think, which they're also worth more. The euro at that time. A fucking cop just hit me. See that son of a bitch? He just smashed my mouth together. You see when I was talking? Hurts like fucking hell. Here was that little fucker there. Blame somebody. Anyways, so that's going forward. And anyways, so we got Notre Dame burnt down. Did somebody rebuild that? That's what I'm saying. That's what the money was for. Anyways, Pope Francis, of course, would have to do that, and that's probably one of his old historical importance to understand that how far, if you have any wood left, how far did that worm eat into that piece of wood? Unless everything burned down, could you save that? Because the wood to replace it is in Italy, underneath the other church. Supposedly they have pieces of oak underneath the church in water that the town sits on. So you have to pull the oak out of there, right? So you cut it out of there, replace it. It's underwater. It's under the church, more or less. Then you take it up to the top, I just got my head blown off.